Good afternoon. My name is Bright, CEO Brightgrillzz, aka the Grill King. You can see right here on my shirt, the Grill King. Yes, this is me showing you videos of some super master chefs in the world doing great in the culinary. Huh? Yes. So I'm going to be showing you some super chefs that are doing great on the grill, cooking different dishes, grilling different species of proteins, fish, chicken, seafood, and all the like. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please, before you watch, kindly like and share, comment, tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody to locate Bright Grills, Alasante. Feed the body that works the money. Let's go. Ooh. Go and buy it quick and come and grill it. They should select big sizes. Then just call me to talk to them.
Which are hardy men that can stand up to the heat, will keep the heat in it. While he's doing the onion, I'm going to cut a little more beef. And again, you see the discoloring on the beef. Don't be worried about it. It's just the natural process of taking the moisture out of the meat itself. What you want to use for a cut of meat for that is a nice a chuck that has a lot of good fat in it, like this one over here. So this is the best way. So if you go to the butcher, ask him for a beef chuck. It's not something that I would use a tenderloin for because it has no flavor. You need the the amount of fat that's cooked into that. The onions, Bill is going to chop really quick, real coarse. This recipe that I'm making today, I learned on the bank of the Rio Grande, which is in Port Antonio, Jamaica. And I learned it from an old lady that was doing that for maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 generations herself. And I cooked it right on the bank of the river. I mean, you saw earlier, you saw the string in there, and there's a reason for that string. The string that's on the meat is also used when the salt gets more coarse and it gets more drier. They would actually take it and just throw it in the river on a string and let the river water wash off the meat. And in a few seconds, believe it or not, we'll start this soup. What's unique about this soup is that it can be cooked in any kind of modern equipment. The trick is only that you're cooking everything down together. You don't add any liquid into it until everything is very well immersed into each other. So Bill is going to help me right now to make the fire ready, to put the pot over, because quite frankly, I'm about ready to sweat down the meat. The true tradition of the 18th century, I made some schmaltz. Old schmaltz is rendered, this happens to be pork schmaltz. We don't use much beef schmaltz because it doesn't have the same flavor. You could, but we don't really use it. So this is some pork fat which is rendered down, and instead of oil we use it, but you don't use oil, you use butter, and you really don't need much. Let me clean up the pork, and this here is going to go. All right, Bill, let's put the pot on the fire. It's going to take a little bit of doing. Okay, hold on. Okay, go ahead. Let's see. Wait for me. Okay, see if you can get it in. Yes, it's right. Got it. Perfect. Yep. The pot's on the fire. Now our journey begins. As I mentioned, I take the schmaltz. Once you cook with wrought iron on fire like that, wrought iron is a transfers the heat. You have about 850 to almost 900 and some more degrees of heat right here. So you're going to see in a short time that I put this in together, it's already getting hot. No smoke and mirror. So give me the meat. And now all we do, for this very second, you guys want to keep an eye on it, but now you want to reduce it down, and you're going to get all the liquid out of this meat. And there's obviously, the meat already has less liquid because it was salt cured, but it still has something within it. And also what you do, since the meat is the toughest part of the soup, you want to make sure that cooking it will make it nice and tender at the end as well. And as soon as it's fully cooked down, then I start adding into the garlic, the onion, the scallion, and a little later the callaloo, the allspice, or what I call pimento in the islands. Allspice in America, because it was used in so many dishes that you made with allspice. So it's not colonial, the allspice herb. This is a taro root, also called malanga. It's different names in different parts of the world. It's been around a long time, and actually, why this made it into the West Indies is a very interesting story. Maybe a little sad story, but nevertheless a true story. This is full of stars. If you want to feed somebody, get somebody some strength into it inexpensively, the taro root will do it, such as yucca and such as yam. So basically, it really was slave food. And kind of, this is why it came from ancient countries into Jamaica. But for this particular soup, it lends itself extremely well. This would be something that would not be historically correct. Historically correct for here, but not historically correct for the West Indies. In the West Indies, they use we call it the fertilization store. Water spinach looks like it, long stalk with green leaves. But it's actually the top of a specific taro, not every taro root. It's hard to come by here. It's very difficult to understand. It's very sensitive. I found that the color greens is the best substitute. That's why I'm using it. So I had to make a little bit of a light use of availability of product. But this goes in last moment and it's done really quick. What you want to do now is Bill is going to get me another taro root. You want to just cut it down. And again, when you cut it, depending on the size of the cut you want to use, how much time this is going to take. So Bill's going to cut this one down. While he does that, let me go back over there because this fire is a serious happening here. Oh yeah, looking good. Now comes the thing to pay attention to. Garlic, rough cut. Really rough chop. No sense of deep fry. Rough chop garlic is good. Then goes the onion. bay leaves in there. As I mentioned, you can add leg bones, beef knuckles, anything you want to put into it. There'd be a good time now if you add on any bones, would be a good time to enhance the stock. So I'm going to take some beef pork knuckles in here. We do not have scallion available like we have in the West Indies. When you talk scallion, it's not a green onion. A scallion is a relative of the onion, much thinner, much more powerful. So this green onion is not quite the same fat it will do for the day. Once the terror goes in, then I'm going to start adding water. Usually the fire. The fire is good, the meat is going to be spectacular, but it'll take a little bit more time. I'm not quite ready for it, but soon. Pretty good. Tell the general, I'll let them know as soon as it's done. You know, you can stay right here.
There are a lot of historical inaccuracies in the details of the painting. The boat itself is much too small. It looks like a little rowboat. The Durham boats were much, much bigger, hold many more people. And of course, there's much too much light in the picture. It looks like dawn. And this happened in the middle of the night in pitch darkness.
Well, you guys are nice to that wasn't starting so much. So I've been pushing it away and trying to.
The ice in the river is certainly accurate of what they would have faced. A lot of people made fun of the painting, saying Washington could never have stood in the boat, and we know they were all standing. You wouldn't sit down in a boat like that. There would have been ice water at the bottom of the boat. So that part is accurate. You would have been standing. They all would have been.
So that's
That is one of Washington's aides, future president of the United States, James Monroe.
this flag exists to the area. So they don't flag and they kind of incorporated into it.
That's correct. That flag would not come for another 6 months or so. But again, the artist knew what he was doing. These are intentional licenses. The details are wrong, but the larger theme of the picture is correct. Symbolically, you have the number 13 guys in the boat to represent the 13 American states. Now, one of the interesting things about the painting is that you count the guys, you only see 12 guys in the boat. And so where is the 13th?
I don't know what that was. What we talked about. Sometimes I think about that. So anyway, in the short, what happened to even in the ink for this painting?
Even in its damaged state, the painting still won awards in Europe. And of course, the painting holds tremendous significance not only for Americans, but also for Germans. For many, many years, it hung in this exact spot in the building until it went back to the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
So in other words, not only the Italians were painted, but the Germans too, right?
I think what's so important about this painting in American history is it plays a key role in what we call nation building. When the United States was born in the Revolution, the United States did not have a strong American national identity. Our identity was British. And so American national identity grows not before the Revolution, but after. Paintings like this that helped to create it. This painting, perhaps more than anything else.
Now, when the tower went into it, the tower took just a little bit of fancy west. They would have used, obviously, water from the river. And I think that people should be nervous or worried about river water because, again, boiling this to for sure at 185 degrees, that bacteria has been killed. You want to ask your water to be in dry time, not hot house time. The hot house looks good, but has no flavor. Now, we chop it out. You don't have to chop it. And quite frankly, when I first learned how to make this, the lady that told me didn't chop it either. If you guy here. See how we do it? Oh, oh, boy, unbelievable. The flavor of that is just gonna die for. Beautiful. I have a device here that is actually dates back. I don't know. Nobody knows exactly how many hundreds of years back. That's what the Spanish call a molino. Everybody has to know. This is like basically an antique spice grinder. The pimento vary. You just want to extract them. And the one thing you want to do, don't ever, please, don't buy ground pimento. Ground pimento is like buying sawdust. It's completely gone. It's like too much preservatives into it. The flavor is completely off. Don't put it into your soup. Don't do it. So what you want to do, you want to crack it. And you want to crack it so that the flavor is spectacular. And it's about perfect, just like that. Now this one over here, I'll just take. And then into the soup. I want to make it one more time. Alright, so let's get the habaneros over there, and then you get another complex. You have a spice grinder at home, like a little coffee grinder. It's the same results, but just don't buy it. Just don't buy it ready-made, ready ground. There we go. Okay. You give me like 3-4 in here. I'm gonna find out the channel. Get back a message to the channel and find out how happy likes these especially the pepper butter and the report back to me, so I can make it for these taste. The soup is ready to receive the callaloo, which you want to put down now, or the collards in the particular scenario. Just hold it like that. If you cannot find collard green, which you should be fine, but if you can't find it, spinach is another good substitute, but you want to do it very last moment. Now, collard greens has much more texture, and spinach is much more delicate. So spinach you within over conserving. Everything that's in here right now manages itself extremely well. Everything is perfect. The only thing left to do is now the important part of the heat factor. How many habaneros have within? So we'll find out how hot he wants it.
I think you could use a man paper, so.
But that's what I understand about the general. So I will take care of these styles. Spice will be added. Habaneros will be added. No problem. Okay, well, I started off with the habanero. We'll have Chef Bill in organized under control. In this camera, what phone is part of the vocabulary. So Bill is going to take us right now. This recipe is salad, iron cook. The only difficult part is when you cook like we today, a little knowledge you cook in the Dutch oven. So I will show you this as well. So Bill?
First I put down add all my dry ingredients together. We're starting with 2 cups of cornmeal. Then we go with 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Just want to start incorporating that together. Now we add 2 tablespoons of baking powder, not soda. And 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt. Mix that up together. Add a cup, 1/2 cup cane sugar. Now we want to mix this well together. Next ingredient, 2 cups whole milk. Now we add 2 eggs. Mix this well. Stirring it, getting all the lumps out. Make sure everything's evenly distributed. Now for this recipe, we're going to go back in time to colonial days, and we're going to use schmaltz. For this recipe, I'm using goose. Today you can use lard, margarine, or butter. We're going to add about 1/4 pound.
You can also put bacon bits into the cornbread. It's also very tasty. You take the bacon, render it down, and then put it in. It's also very, very good. I don't know who can take credit for the invention of the Dutchie or the Dutch ovens, but they used me as the all-purpose equipment from the 18th century. Because you can bake, you can cook, you can do anything. Today we are just going to bake it. So basically you want to have the pot nice and hot, like I just did, and you want no fire. But you see exactly how you want to cook at it. Different from the the upper right. What he's going to do now, he's going to put in a little bit of schmaltz on the bottom. And the reason for that is he just want to make sure that it doesn't stick later. Wipe it a little bit. There you go. And now he's going to add the upper right into it. Alright. Let him take it to the fire. Then he's going to follow with the lid. Okay. And now comes the most important part. Notice the lid, the height of the lid. The reason for the lid is we're putting the charcoal that is harvesting out of the fire right now. Yep. There you go. And with the charcoal. And so basically what you're doing is you're doing exactly like you would have an oven at home. So now what you have fire, you have heat on the bottom and heat on the top. The only tricky part of it is when you remove it later, it takes a little bit of experience. Otherwise you can have all the ashes right back into your pumpkin. Not a good idea. All done exactly to the specifications of the decision. And I know differently than the 8 to 10 with a cooking, which I want to do. Right here at the very end, because this is where the celebration was held after the food of breaks out here. The cornbread over here, by the way, and is that your 20 minutes? This is the 18th century conventional one, mind you. But you have bottom beef, you have top beef, and it allows the cornbread to cook fresh. You got rice. We'll see in a moment. Remember what the soldier said, the general like hot. But let's first taste and then add into it. Be very careful because it has a lot of heat. Just from the store of an arrow, then it has plenty of heat already. Not plenty, but good enough. Well, good. But Bill, give me a little bit more old spice, alright? Let me check if the cornbread is ready. Just want to make sure. Oh yeah. Cornbread perfect. Here you go. Look at that. We're doing the cornbread up there. You can cut it up for the toaster. Hold on. Put it in the other bowl. Careful. Really much. So, okay. Oh. A little bit more allspice in my soup. You can call the general. Be ready to eat. General. Sir. I'm going to give you the first one.
Okay. Gracias. Abos.
Ina waje ne. Ina waje
Zan ga daren mutum.
na ma sun sa assistant ne. Kai? Ni no busy madam don carry an time sai ne.
Kwaban na shi sai sani.
Eh, yana cikin bag din.
Ta kai shi shige ba.
Ka san tun da na yi abin nan. Kun yi lokacin da ta kawo abinci fara tun. Kun lokacin ne na
Today's show, I'm celebrating tomatoes. And tomatoes is something that absolutely everybody likes. Everybody's got to have it. And thanks to Thomas Jefferson, we actually enjoy it. He's the one that forced up the American people when he was president, the first president of the United States, the White House. Without further ado, I'm going to tell you what I made it today. And I made it one of my greatest dish that I ever made, which is a quiche. I'm not sure how it's done. A little complicated, but everything. I'm doing a corn, tomato relish, and a very simple but very tasty tomato salad. To start off though, I want to get first the corn and the yolk. Now obviously, depending what time of year you watch the show, fresh corn is obviously much better. It has to be fresh corn, but it's not what I consider a little dynamite corn. It's still good though. more fire in there, because what I want to do is I want to get the liquid out of the corn and have a little slight caramelization. And the reason I'm doing that is so I have more flavor. What I do is a little cooking spray, like that. It's nice to do if you have it in your own backyard, have it in your barbecue grill, you don't have to worry about it. And obviously, as you already noticed, there's something missing on my set. What is it? No salt, no butter. We make everything here flavorful by using natural other ingredients, such as spices and herbs. Let me get started with the spinach. The spinach that you need and the onions that you need for the quiche have to be sauteed. And the reason for that is because if you don't saute it, too much water in there and it would ruin this quiche. So the onions, all we do is we slice it down just like a quick slice like so. And all you want to do with the onions is get a little glaze to it. You don't have to brown them. You want no color to it. Just a little bit like that. So I put a little bit of olive oil in here. And olive oil, again, is another superfood that we use exclusively. The onion in here. A little glaze on it. I got a little bit more oil over here. And chop down a little bit of garlic. Just to go for two. And the reason you got to do it is because spinach is solid water. Obviously, if you would put the spinach into your quiche, it would ruin you completely. So here we go. And the garlic for that, chop and coarse. Just a rough chop. Just like so. Rough chop, garlic. Put it in the pan and put the spinach right on top. Spinach doesn't take any time at all to build down, as you know. My corn is already making a little noise over here. I want to be sure I don't burn it. But I want a nice caramelization going on it. Onions almost ready to go. Shut down already. It's already done. I just want a little bit of glaze on it. Now comes the real here's the resistance. So this is my filo laid out baking dish. When you use filo, you always want to keep it very, very, very moist. And the reason for that is because, as you know, filo dough is very, very delicate. So delicate that if you don't immediately put a towel on it, it's going to be very tough for you to use. And I'm using filo because it's low in fat, so I could use tough dough, but it wouldn't do the trick. Spinach, what you want to do, hit it with a little bit of pepper, you got to get the flavor out, with pepper and other spices. The onions in the bottom of the dish. I have red peppers, that I'm just going to slice, just like so. And lay it right across. You don't have to organize it, it can be unorthodox, just lay it in the bottom, the flavor comes with it. Mushrooms, same thing. Spinach is ready to boil. And you just want to get the spinach wilted. Here, just like this you want it, no more, no less. And you see there's no water in there. You make the spinach, use a big skillet like I have here, so that the water comes out of the spinach, evaporates completely. See that? Just perfect like that. And spinach obviously is a superfood, a lot of vitamin C, a lot of fiber, and a lot of iron in it. Now comes the real important part. Smoked salmon. Smoked salmon and this dish just absolutely takes it over the edge. You put the smoked salmon right in there over. This happens to be two-note smoked salmon, one of the finest that I've ever tasted as of late. And salmon is a superfood and obviously works extremely well. So salmon over here. Now I got tomato. I take just plum tomatoes and I'm just going to slice them and leave on top. Now you can also chop them and throw them in there, but for this recipe it's much more prettier. You can see it. Let me get the ricotta cheese first in there. Ricotta cheese. It's low-fat ricotta instead of cream. Now many quiche recipes, you know, use heavy cream. You don't want to do that. Heavy cream, too many calories and not good for you. Just going to come kind of coat it like so. A little bit more, here we go. And now, I'm going to get a good amount of pepper on that for extra flavor. I got the tomato. So all I'm going to do, and I like plum tomatoes because they're firmer. There's acidity in it, and it just makes it really pretty on top also. The way you do it is you lay it out. So, tomato tomatoes are really high in potassium and vitamin B6, so they're very good for you. And actually, tomatoes are good for you in any form. Sun-dried tomatoes, cooked tomatoes, they don't lose their vitamins. Any way you want to use it. Then comes the important part. Now today, you can use these. Keeping it half healthy, egg beater works extremely well. Egg beater at the top. And now, I have a nice Parmesan cheese on the top, very light on the cheese. Somebody asked me if cheese is healthy. In moderation, sure it is. When you buy cheeses, look for aged cheeses because there's more flavor and can use less. Use in moderation. Ready to go? All you gotta do, if you have to fill up, I would recommend that you squeeze it on the side. So, much lower carbo. And now we're going to do stick in the oven. It takes about 25 minutes. So obviously I have one already cooked. And we're going to experiment in a little bit later. Make this recipe and serve it to your family next time. You're going to be the star. Now we're going to do something that's even more fun, if there's such a thing, as the quiche, which is my corn relish. And I do a lot of them. I do spicy corn relish, I do all kinds of corn relishes, because I just enjoy it. So what you're going to do, have a little caramelization on the corn, like you see me doing there. It doesn't take much, because this is really sweet corn and it cooks rather fast. What you're going to do is take the corn off the husk. There's two ways of doing it. One, you want to make it easy, don't cut your fingers, cut the corn in half, extend it down like that, and just go down. That's the easiest way to do it. Cut it down on the side, there we go. Just like so. Easy. Easy does it. And what's nice about it, if you could smell the aroma of this corn, unbelievable. And what it does, it's the quick amount of putting on the grill just brings the sugar out of the corn, which because corn has a lot of natural sugar, brings it right out and enhances this flavor of the meat. People say to me, can I buy frozen corn and kernel corn? You can, but it wouldn't be the same. It's just the flavor of the corn, the caramelization, and then the other ingredients get into it, just mix it. There we go. That's it. Now corn is not a superfood by all means, but it's good, and it's actually what I could consider one of America's favorite starches. Now today, because we are talking about tomatoes, I add tomato into it. Now, in the summertime, tomatoes are best to eat when you have beautiful wine-ripened tomatoes. It's difficult at some times, but you still can use it. And I would say you should stay away from it. So basically what I do is I have green pepper, just cut down a little bit, into a quick dice. You know, there are hundreds of varieties of tomatoes available, including some beautiful yellow tomatoes that have been around from the days of Thomas Jefferson. But tomatoes fresh off the vine doesn't usually better. So while we doing the show, not necessarily in the right time for the tomato, you can appreciate what the tomato will do for you. So in the tomato itself, a lot of people also say, do I have to peel the tomato? Oh gosh, you don't have to. Some people say you should, some people don't. Do I seed it? Not at all. For this particular recipe, all I do is cut a nice little dice. You want the dice kind of close to it as the corn itself. Just like so. And you want to use a serrated knife for that. Because you don't squeeze it, you don't break the flesh, just go like so. And you add this into it. Now, the ratio really depends up to you. You like a lot more, less, depends. Important is the onion that goes in here. I'm going to put in there like 2 seconds. And it's a red onion that you put in. So I have my tomato, I have a little bit of the green pepper, here comes the red onion. Then you want to just cut it in a nice dice. There's the flavor of the red onion is obviously really good. The spiciness comes in 2 ways. You have comes to seasoning of it, as I mentioned. Now today, because I have some habaneros here, I want to actually be able to use it. So I'm going to put a little habanero into it. What I recommend if you do it the first time for home, slice them like that. And the reason you want to do that is because if somebody doesn't like hot, they can identify it and the fish might pick out. If you chop it really fine, it's too difficult to see and you might have some friends who are not happy. If you don't have habaneros, pepper flake, what you can do, cumin, a little cumin powder, a little bit of nice thyme. Now we're going to do oil. Spicy foods will improve your mood. Trust me, take it from me. I'm always in a good mood because I eat a lot of spice. Pepper, as you already see me use on the show many times, white vinegar is very important. Now, having said that, for my tomato salad, I use balsamic, but for that one here, because it's more natural and it really keeps it from the corn. What I'm going to do is mix this up quick. Quick, look at this. At this stage, I would leave it sitting in room temp. Then, like I say many times, you want to really season everything, so you want to make sure that you get back and wild. No corners over the same. Wow. So the sweet of the corn, the acidity of the vinegar, and the spices together mixed in is an unforgettable experience. I'm telling you. Now comes the one that everybody kind of makes and everybody kind of knows. It's sour tomato something. What tomato would you use? This time of year, I would use at the regular time, summertime, I would use Jersey with Amarillo tomatoes. But this time of year, it just nice plump. And I would have it in because I can slice it in a sliver. Smoke this and take the effect of the just going to take the end off. Go down like that and literally like so. That's it. And leave the seed in it completely. Because you like the little acidity. You can also cut it like so. Either way you want to do it, you know right or wrong. And just cut it out like that. It's also very good with some mozzarella, like a caprese, mozzarella buffalo goes in there. Anything you want really works really well. And like I said, those plum tomatoes are my favorite that I use exclusively for my tomato sauce. It can be concassation because it's the best of flavor, it's not too acidy, and it's more fleshy. So if you wanted to take the seeds out, like some recipes will tell you, just what you do, go like that. It's really easy. And also get recipes that tell you that you need a julienne of tomato. This one can really julienne really good. So you find recipes that tell you that don't be scared of it. It's very simple. Voilà. We have some onion for that. That is onion for in here. I would not chop fine. I would just julienne it like that. Here we go. Just cut it like that. Put it in there. A little bit of garlic. And the garlic I would chop coarse as well. And here we go. Now comes obviously the most important, as we already know. This is the basil. Now, when I was an apprentice working in Italy, one time my chef told me, give me some basil for this particular dish. And I went in, I took the basil and I took a knife to it, and I got a kick you know where. Why? Because a lot of people, including myself, don't believe in chopping beautiful herbs like that. So what I do is I pull it, and there is really no ever substitute for fresh basil. Impossible. I mean, if you do it with dry, many times I use dry herbs that works, but for that there's no substitute. Like there is no substitute for this particular recipe for balsamic vinegar. Oh, all it needs is some mozzarella. Put on pepper one more time. Now, since we're cooking heart healthy, we stay away from the cheese, but it's nice. Nobody likes cheese or mozzarella. Alright, the other thing, if you want to make it a little spicy,
Yeah, how far?
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
make it easy with
Thank
pepper
you.
flake.
I,
Pepper flake into it, it
Babi
just kicks it up.
installed this as I said the number two for maintenance. May just maintain the
No, next week I will call you.
okay.
I would let it recommend
Procure
that
this
it's just
for
a
what
little
is
bit,
that?
and the reason
No, we know it should be.
The onion and the garlic.
Why I need you to call, you know.
Flavors come together nicely. Now, what we gotta do is double check the flavors of the corn. Make sure that this is good.
That's not good as this.
If you try those recipes the first time, when you use the cooking with salt, it's very different approach. So when the first couple times you do it, and your guests or your family will say, hey, there's some salt missing, it can be, you need a little extra work. And the extra work meaning you need the extra flavors into it. This one right now is a little weak. Well, I already have green pepper in there. I did put a scallion into it. But the scallion would make the difference because it's onion related. And the scallion would get some good flavor. Sometimes you don't have to, sometimes you should. So I'm going to put some scallion into it. And also I'm going to put a little bit of more red pepper, red bell peppers into it, just to keep the flavors up a notch. And the reason for it is, like I said, I'm not making any excuses for not using salt, but you have to really think over what you put in. Because if you cook with no salt, because salt is very dangerous for your cardiovascular system, and also in America, unfortunately, we consume way too much salt. Everything is salted. Everything is salted. So this one over here, we're just going to do a pretty dice, total natural color. One thing I find, since food appeals to the eye, it's also very important that you put a lot of sensuality into your food by using different colors, by using different flavors. And mixing the hot with the spices together will normally turns out really good. So I'm just gonna chop those ones down. Very easy chop. Like so. Just gonna do a big chop there. Nice. We call this a Brightgrillzz, by the way. If you get a recipe book and it tells you cut something in a small dice, call it Brightgrillzz, just like that. Put it in there. Red peppers, by the way, are very, very high on antioxidants, so they're very good for you. Not just because the looks, but also it's good. So now I'm going to play this one up, because I can't wait for my quiche that's driving me crazy behind me. This one over here,
My boss.
a little bit of paprika.
Good afternoon, boss. Thank you. I'm fine, and you?
The quiche is driving me insane.
Okay, you say you need that same stuff, right? But that size of fish is not available. The one that is available is the bigger size.
And then
Yes, sir.
corn on top.
That would be 800 everything now.
Big presentation. Look for China. This is
Alright, boss.
like little pieces, like
You can pay to that same account number.
corn. Tomato, I use a little bit of frisee, any lettuce would work. Frisee to me is just cool. Also, what happens with the frisee, it keeps extremely well. The frisee makes it look good and keeps well. Put a little frisee on the side, and then just ladle your tomato basil on top. Again here, that is, a bit of mozzarella, please. Here we go. So you just set it right in nice on top. Again, presentation is half of the game. You can take the tomatoes and chop them down, unidentifiable, no good. This way, it's just absolutely beautiful. And on top, there we go. This is a great starter or just a meal. Like I said, anytime, and especially in season, no question about it. And on top, yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, cherry, let me go. slice it. The tomato salad speaks for itself. It's delicious, really, really great. You know, what people don't realize, that tomato is low blood pressure, full of vitamins, full of potassium. And matter of fact, everything that you see here, then some is in this quiche. So this quiche has a lot of color and a lot of flavor. Let me try my. It's definitely a super good quiche. With smoked salmon. Oh, God. Really, and you know what? It's also very light. It's low carb, it's low fat, heart healthy, and only one more word to it. Spectacular, absolutely great. So there you have it. My clipped tomatoes.
What? I was asking if you like beef steak. Okay, alright.
Today I'm celebrating one of my favorite, absolutely my favorite, which is pomegranate. And pomegranate obviously is a seasonal food, comes from all over, from Italy, from the Middle East, was in California as well, and in Florida. But right now it's kind of the end of the season. But I'll tell you, you have superfood in a glass. There's nothing better because I'll tell you what, one glass of pomegranate juice will absolutely fix you up for the entire day. So I salute this show to pomegranate and I can start it right away. A quarter cup of that drinks in the morning will reduce the bad cholesterol, therefore really heart healthy. Alright, what I'm making, the first dish, it's actually one that when I first saw the recipe some time ago, and I played around with it, I said, well, it's kind of looks funny. And the more I got into it, the more excited I got. Notice that I leave the skin on my salmon whenever I eat salmon. Why? Because all the nutrients are right under the skin. So what I'll do here, I take a nice piece of salmon, and salmon, as you know by now, is a superfood and one of my favorites, full of omega-3 and sugar. Now what I can do a little bit here, it may be not 100 million % hot healthy because I put a little soy on it, but just a tad. No sodium soy, a little bit. Obviously, you see we have no salt, no butter, but the little soy just has a nice little flavor to it. Second, I have a little bit on the fire. So I have a little olive oil, again, another superfood. And I'm going to take the salmon and drench it quickly in some, just a little bit of AP flour. Now, if you really want to be worried about calories, I'm worried about even to the extreme, just take this fish and stick it in there. It doesn't matter. I have to like the calcium because for this recipe it just gets more flavor. All you do, and since you cook it in olive oil already, which is a superfood, so we have no issues. We go on the start it on the top side. We're going to cook that very slow. The next step we're going to do is we're going to make the topping that goes on top of this fish. Which, like I said, when I first played around with it, I said to myself, wow, this is an interesting recipe. Because what it does, it uses avocado, it uses habanero, it uses coriander, and it uses a little bit of brown sugar. A little bit of brown sugar, not too much. So all I'm going to do is make a quick emulsion right here. A little bit of coriander. You take any fresh coriander and just put in your food, process it really quick. A little bit of brown sugar, just a tad. And now mixing it up. Add to it is a little bit of organic rice wine vinegar, rice vinegar, I should say, like so, and then sit up for a bit. And obviously, when you don't use salt, like we in our set don't use salt, you have to really compensate with other spices and ingredients to get the flavors out. Next, I take the avocado. For this particular recipe, the really ripe avocado works extremely well. Actually, the ripe is always better. Take the avocado, eye on the temperature. Now, the red onion. But avocado, we cannot say enough about it, and obviously I use avocado whenever I have the opportunity because avocado is a great superfood. A little bit of the red onion in there, like so. Pomegranate seed. We're just at the end of the season right now. Usually November to February is just like a pomegranate time. So now I have a little parsley. Using again right, this little fantastic concept of getting it right in a tube. We don't have any waste into it. And a little bit of garlic, just very tad garlic, very small amount. And then with a little bit of there we go. Mix it all together. And then it's going to set up a little touch of oil, some chives, and the avocado. It's kind of let's think of a guacamole, if you will, but a guacamole with pomegranate seeds in it. Yeah. With a little bit of heat there, 2 ways, pepper flake, and a little bit of a habanero. And again, as I say, all the instruments people use habanero. First we use a rubber ball, don't do what I do, and you can fold in 2 pieces. So some doesn't have any heat, they can easily push it out. So now, just a tad of oil, a little bit of freshly ground pepper. That's going to set this aside. My salmon is cooking absolutely spectacular, Mr. Wolf. And like if I do mine, you see how gently I'm cooking it. Because I want to really caramelize it nice and get it really crispy. So the skin also becomes crispy. That's what makes it good. So the skin, once you buy the fish at the fishmonger, you have to make sure that you scale it really good, wash it really good, and eat it. It's where all your nutrients are right under the skin. So when you buy salmon that has the skin off, you lose a lot of flavor and a lot of nutrients. A bit of chive in here. Sugar. And let's move on to the next recipe. Now this will set up to the side. Later I come back and check it again. But look at the color. Beautiful. This is right over here. The next one we're making is tortilla from France. Take a little bit of dry mustard, make it a quick little emulsion. Just a quick one. Depends how much you want to make. Obviously, the recipe you can multiply it. But this one I need much more than that. I have some yogurt here in it. And normally, many recipes you're going to find with it would use mayonnaise. I don't. So here, yogurt on it. And yogurt is a superfood, and make sure you buy the right kind. It don't be food. Also, some of the yogurts have a lot of food things into it. I stay away from too many calories. My salmon is really perfect. Slow fire. There's color on it. Alright. Yellow curry powder. I have some chili pepper, which is again, great idea. Rather than running around with chili pepper, get a little chili pepper in here, extra flavor. Chili pepper, I have a little bit of parsley in here. Okay. Now comes the mushroom that I'm slicing really quick, but we want to slice them last moment. Nice button-sized mushroom, you slice them. This one, for this recipe, I slice them lengthwise, because I really want to get a little mushroom in it. Then comes something else, which is another superfood, again, seasonally, sometimes difficult to get, which is the brightgrillzz
Hello?
that I already cut out of the skin.
Hello?
Hello?
Call that boy for this to me bring prawns.
Mix it up.
Fast, please.
Once you use pomegranate seeds, you'll be hooked. Because it gives a beautiful crunch to any salad. This is ready to go. I just want to have to make sure I will check that quick before I use my flavor. Alright. And actually this one over here, once I have checked that, I can also plate it up already. say, sometimes people have to find them. Fantastic. So I'm going to top off the hollowed out dragon fruit, like that, and tell you, once you taste that, you're never going to go back to anything else. The crunchiness of the pomegranate seed, the tanginess of the mustard, it's just spectacular. Now here, the salmon is like absolutely divine. A little bit more on the other side, and it's done. So you don't want to overcook salmon. There you go. Put it on the table. And now I concentrate the quinoa salad that I'm doing. Show you quick how to do a orange test. All you got to do is peel the orange down. Obviously you want to take a serrated knife, otherwise that wouldn't work. And you want to just take some wedges out of here. The way to do it is go like that, take a knife, and you cut it between the membrane. So obviously orange is full of vitamin C and great source and available all year long, unlike the old days. It's really easy to get. Okay, I have the quinoa already cooked. And quinoa, cooked earlier, quinoa you can cook way ahead of time. It reconstitutes extremely well. I put the orange session in here. I have a good amount of walnut that I toasted. And I put this on my cutting board because for this particular recipe, well, I usually don't put a lot of pre-cooked vegetables into it. This one has pickled beets. And the reason it has pickled beets is the acidity from the beets and the sweetness of the orange makes it nice. So the beets, I'm just going to quarter them like so. And you can get them in any store. You already made, or you can pick your own beets like better. Like that. And the beets are sweet, there's a lot of natural sugar into it, and it works extremely well for this particular recipe. And obviously what's missing there, as you already know, sitting right in front of me, is the crunchiness of the pomegranate. So here we go, you put it into it. Now, all you gotta do, and here you can, perfect, done, look at that, beautiful fish. Anyway, what you can do here now is whatever you really live your heart desires. There's no right, no wrong. If you want to make it just a little bit of vinaigrette,
Are you still at the market?
olive oil, a little bit of vinegar.
Tell Mr. Olu I want to talk to him.
This salad has so much vitamin C in there, and it takes over the nuts. This is perfect. A little bit of vinegar in there, just a tad.
You get a very, very big croaker fish, very big one.
Pomegranate seed, a little bit of oil,
I need like 5.
and a little bit of ghost pepper.
Check a bit.
Taste of them, make sure you have all the ingredients properly blended into it. And what's happening is the quinoa is kind of like a binder, and it's all obviously solid protein. Look at how protein it is. Oh, pomegranate are very rich in potassium. The salad is just a killer. Oh, the nuts, the walnuts, the pomegranate seeds, I mean, you don't get better than that. Those ones, and also set up, by the way, because I like to serve them kind of like another up or like a side dish. Beautiful. Remember, see, we know no meat in there. Pure, all vegetarian. And also, the quinoa, they cooked earlier in a pure vegetable stock. And there's a lot of vitamin B in there as well. So you have a huge vitamin boost between B, C, E, you got all that. That's gorgeous. And for that,
How far now? Huh? Which one is getting to eat? I told you that you need to go and do BVN now. Which system program? I told you yesterday, you gave me your word that today will be ready before 12 o'clock. Now you're telling me about system program. If you disappoint me, you refund me that money. I'm very serious.
most people don't realize it.
That's how you did last time. That man went back without opening his account.
Salt and nuts, toast them.
It's not a system program. You would have told me that, and I will not initiate it.
Nothing in the pan at all. That's why we do this. And I also use the salmon. Salmon. Because this way, look at
Hello? Yeah? Yeah, Alpha. Yes. I don't know why they call you, need to go. That Dora where you show me no big now. He did like that big one I do yesterday. He passed that one. I been doing well, may not scatter, make the head done well, the belly done, the tail done, everything. Use your mind. No send no children them to do them. Do them by yourself. With lamb chops. Call that boy for prawns. Me bring 5 kilo. I been made the meat done well. I beg meat done soft. Your package the inside platter go move deliver for the man.
And it's just something about it just makes it feel so fantastic. So product line should incorporate not just the recipes I show you today, but many other recipe experience because the product line seed holds its complexity, which is the unique part. It doesn't fall apart, it stays like this.
Hello?
You can buy it in many minutes of the run.
Which order is ready?
The husk, which means once
Which order? Is it okay? I told him to hold on that they should go and buy big sizes and bring, right? Isn't that what I said?
You know, a lot of the recipes that we use, a lot of the use nowadays, we don't necessarily know where it comes from, but we know it's good. So have a little radica on the plate. Any salad you want to use. I love freezing. And the reason I like freezing is I recommend you look for it in the grocery store because it holds up, in my opinion, fantastic. The only thing that holds up maybe better than freezing is romaine lettuce. Romaine lettuce is another one that really has a fantastic shelf life. If you want to do any kind of presentation that is nice, you want to just incorporate them into it. The one that I like also, like I said, is the romaine, and the reason why romaine lettuce is so great, holds up to industry as well. So the romaine and a little bit underneath. This dish we make, and this is kind of like a salad. Many of you maybe know me from my show, Taste of History, where I explore a lot of historical recipes. Romaine lettuce used to be used in Latvia as a schwab next to the pork, henceforth warm romaine. But it was not eaten ever as a Caesar salad until much later. Initially in Europe, where I come from, you make it as a vegetable. It's waste. You cook it, and then it's really, really fantastic. And the word romaine from warm. Think about that. Another little tidbit that most many people don't know. And I like to use it for many of my salad recipes. This is considered in my book a salad when we make it. Because it's basically all you have is a good bit of lettuce underneath. Now I'm taking this gorgeous piece of salmon, which I really mean gorgeous piece of salmon. Flip it over. Make sure that this is right. Because again, when you make freezing avocado, you figure out right. Avocado will take away off. That's unbelievable. But avocado will change the complexity of your relish. This one's perfect. Look at the looks of it. Now what I do is I top my fish. I tell you. Put the fish on. You chop a little chives over it. Fantastic. You know, lettuce we use for decoration. It's not a superfood because it's actually a lot of water. But it has some vitamins into it, a little bit. There you go. Some lime. Now the other thing you can do like that, you can just do a little drizzle, very simply. You could just take any kind of a good oil, little bit over the sides. Just cut a little line. Here. The lime just adds a nice little color to it. It's beautiful. And here, we take the parsley, and I like this one. It's not a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous dish. I don't know about you, but it's the kind of salad that I would eat anytime. And remember, when you're buying the salmon, and that's the thing about making sure that it leaves the skin on it. It's not always possible. Many fish stores that I go into, they have more salmon with meat or with more skin. I will tell you. But you want to make sure, when you buy the salmon, make sure you get one that has a good amount of fat. You can see it here. This happens to be the Blue North salmon that comes up from the waters of Maine and up to Canada. This is spectacular. I mean, you can see it on the collar. You see the fat on the side. This is the kind of salmon you want to get for. Now this meal here, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's just not just because it's plain and beautifully, but it's the flavor, the combination of the avocado and the pomegranate. And I made it the first time. A little bit of the coriander, a little bit of the sugar, just a tad to balance the acidity. It just makes it an absolute spectacular roasted salmon. Like I said, you don't have to cook it like that. If you feel uncomfortable, you can cook it in your. Now the walnuts I told you, I put them in the pan. Put myself in a few walnuts on it, and whenever you use nuts, I usually use like nuts or almonds. I always want to be constantly putting some right there. And a couple of the nuts around on the side, beautiful, nice and warm. And it's so healthy, this dish. It screams for health. Let me recap what I did today. Pomegranate, rich potassium, vitamin B, vitamin C, more antioxidant than green tea. 7 times more. It's a spectacular thing. But you know, what I'm going to say, think a little bit, come out of the box, look how beautiful it looks. I mean, this one's my favorite because I love Pisan mustard. Spectacular. You can do two things. You can bring it in a champagne glass or put it right back in the pomegranate to get it. But I tell you, this dish here, I'm not going to say it. I hope you had it like fun, as I had, making it for you. And you incorporate pomegranate into your dining plan. Today's show is one of my favorite because I'm cooking my favorite dish, which is a French lentil salad with a little twist. We don't use tofu in France, but we use tofu today and a little bit of feta cheese. But it's really beautiful. But first I'm going to start off with something that everybody knows, and everybody's confused. I'm making a really classic, low-fat beef. For the minestrone, what we're going to do, we got a pot on the fire. We're going to do a little bit of black pork, not too much, just a tad. We're going to get some onions chopped quick. What's unique about minestrone is so great because it combines a lot of superfoods. So the onions you chop really coarse with it. Same with the garlic. Then the work begins. Now, minestrone, by the way, I say it many times on the show, people think I'm making up a story, when I say no right or wrong. There literally is no right or wrong. Whenever you have gone around, you can make a minestrone. Nobody has to say it has to have that, it has to have that, no, not at all. The only common denominator would be that it has some tomatoes. any visitors in there, like some bugs, but have sometimes cauliflower lung, and cut through it to florets. Like so. And when you have the florets cut, there we go. And literally, the way I do mine, literally put it right in the pot. So all you want to do is get everything cooked together nicely, harmoniously, I would say, and you want to get the extra liquid water that's in the vegetable cooked out of it. So slow, little, dark, high heat event. Cauliflower. You know, cauliflower, some people have trouble with eating cauliflower on the whole stage and the kidney stage, so cooking it makes it much easier to digest. I have some zucchini. Now the zucchini I wait a little bit. Whatever goes in the garden, whatever you like in it is fine for this. Like I said, you can't really screw up with this stone. More broccoli in there. Also just cut off the florets. Like I said, you know, so buy those ready-made already, throw it all in. Notice what I said, you don't find any salt, you don't find no butter. The beans I bake, some people don't bake, I like with my pork and I don't honey. So again, one of those stories working in Europe, cutting beans with a knife when I got myself in trouble. I'm supposed to hopefully with this way. There we go. The beans. And you know, one thing is very important when you mix it, don't wash it. You want to keep it slowly cooking down. You want to make sure that the vegetable has a chance to liquid out of it. Alright, like that zucchini. Just gonna cut them in four. Don't put them in now. Zucchini I will last a little later. It's too delicate. I also have some beans, any kind of beans you want to use, canola beans, northern beans, white beans, any kind of beans put in there. And a little carrot, you can cut this here. Carrots, as I mentioned always to people, carrots are beautiful when you eat it. I just don't like them peel them. Just wash them really good, take the stem off, wash them really good down, good business. Carrot, cut it in half, and then make a really quick chop. It's all easy. Also, just cut it down. Now the mushrooms that you see on the set, you can put some mushroom into it, but the mushroom I would put later into it. Mushroom, zucchini, anything that's kind of soft, go in the later stage. This stage now you want to get in a little bit of tomato paste. Can you do your tomato paste? Yeah, I mean, just like a lot of body. The tomato paste, the concentration of tomato paste makes it good. So put in like a spoon, a half of tomato paste in there.
Yes.
It's that you can find in most restaurants. And now I have the vegetable stock
What of
that
the
I use for that because since I'm going to all this trouble to make it a vegetable minestrone, I also want to put a vegetable stock in it, not a beef stock or chicken stock. So this is just a regular old vegetable stock that you can buy over the counter. Vegetable stock into it. And then I have a little bit of plain water to add into it, just a little bit. And now, the soup's gonna have to simmer down. It doesn't take long actually. But what it does is your cooking time gets reduced down if you sweat the vegetable. Sweating meaning saute it like it's minutes to minutes that you're cooking right now. I have some thyme and I have some oregano. For this one I use dry. I have some baby, a little bit of onion powder if you like. Not important. And all we gotta do now is make this to a boil. When it boils, later all I add into the beans, the mushroom, the zucchini, doesn't take no time at all. Cut the mushrooms on the side. And you don't have to put mushrooms in it. It's a nice little twist. So last moment, add this right on top of the bowl of the northern beans, canola beans. Very last one. We're gonna start right here. bacon, so I really don't feel necessarily bad about it. And all I do is cut the bacon in a little dice. And it's a lean bacon. I mean, obviously there's with fatty bacon, lean bacon. This happens to be a nice smoked bacon. You just cut it in a julienne, like so. And add it into my skillet. You know, this bacon has a strong flavor, so you saw me when I have 3 slices in there, so that's not gonna get everybody too excited. I have an onion over here. So what I did here is I have some bacon, put a little oil in the bacon, a little bit, just a tad. Oil in bacon, extra oil in bacon. I put in the onion. And now let it saute for a little bit, put a little bit on the side. Take my carrot really quick. This recipe has some shooting of carrot incorporated into it that is actually for color and a little bit of the flavor that you get the sweetness from the carrot. So what you want to do there is just cut the carrot in some sticks really quick and add them into it. It's the time to add it in now. Now the French lentils, by the way, lentils are most powerful legumes that I know. They're so good for you. They have so many minerals and lots of fiber, and it's just this big taco. That's why I eat lentils in Europe like you can't believe. I obviously figured out why, because they're really good for you. Now, the French lentils, by the way, are the real tiny ones. So you're going to see them in a minute when I get this one down here. So the carrots go in now. I just want to get a little bit of a blanch. There are 100 varieties of lentils on the market, but I will tell you, French lentil, which looks like that, look at how beautiful. You just put it in water, you soak it overnight in water, or at least 4 hours. Put a stick of thyme, fish up the thyme, and then what you do is you just absolutely put them, basically I have bacon, onion, and the carrots, and now I'm adding the French lentil. The French lentil, look at it, how beautiful it is. And again, this is one of the salads that is eaten over ham, which is very important to know. It's not a salad that you want to make up front and stick in your refrigerator. Not a good idea. And then today, so lucky, we're going to put tofu under, which is my superfood twist, and a little bit of feta cheese for the extra sharpness. The soup is now ready to receive the soft goods, like I'm saying, the squashes, zucchinis, the beans, which are already pre-cooked, and I'm into now. There we go. And the beans are obviously really high in fiber and low in fat, which is really good for you. This soup, I mean, is the meal in itself, as you can already see. I'll put this to the side a little bit because this doesn't need any more, just gives a little bit of pepper and a pepper flake. Notice that when I cook without salt, without butter, I have to absolutely be sure that I compensate. By compensating, meaning I've got to use pepper, herbs, spices, different things. Otherwise, you would find out that my food is dull, which is not dull. My food is spicy and very sensuous. Okay. So here we go. The other thing I'm going to do really quick. Good minestrone has always a crouton. Now, should you eat a crouton? Well, look here. It's a little bit something to add onto it, so it's not going to kill you. And all it is any kind of bread you want to use, any kind of stale white bread, French bread that you want to use. And other things you don't have to do what I'm doing right now. You can just take them, stick them in the oven, and let them run. Be careful when you do it. Not a good time to make a phone call because it's burning the heart. So what I do is a little bit of olive oil. Again, heart healthy. Olive oil, throw the croutons in the pan, just keep an eye on it while they get going. When this is gone now, I gotta make my dressing. The dressing for my lentil salad is Sean mustard. And Sean up spectacular with the lentils. Set it to the side. I'm going to get my red onions from the back. Chop the red onions and the mushrooms. And I'm ready to put this one into there. Gotta keep a close eye on those croutons. I want them to be brown but not burnt. Get the red onions out of here. There's another trick. You see me using a lot of onions if you keep watching the show. And why? The onion has a lot of flavor. And once you take away butter and salt, the onion is a natural. It just has to it. And it works extremely well. So the onion for that you want to cut fine because you want to make sure there are not too big chunks in there. And for reference, whenever you do some cooking, try to always keep the shapes the same. If I have something that's coarse, I leave everything coarse. If I have something that's fine, like little lentils, look how beautiful they are, I will put my onions on it too. This one is looking good. A little bit more than that. Look, doesn't take no time. Like I said, it's not a good time to watch the soaps when you do that because it goes really, really quick. Soup is cooking away too, really nice. Season it up.
Getting medicinal care.
Onion. This goes into the onion goes in right into the vinaigrette. You want to keep it really, really tight. And some mushrooms in it. The mushrooms are spicy just down. And mushrooms, you want to make sure you wash them many times in the stores. They have a lot of dirt on them. That's what you smell. No more. Now, small pieces of normal. You want to leave extra for tofu. We need to leave extra for soft tofu. Tofu, as you know, is a superfood as well. Tofu is really high in protein and it's known to reduce blood pressure. Remember, as I mentioned to you, this is a salad that you do not want to make cold. Before you eat it, so it's safe that you want to have make sure that the lentils are
Yes. How many all? Oh yeah, carry and they go shop. Answer, what will be market list? The croaker is how much? 75. How many do for one carton, Baba? Okay. Okay, what you gonna do be say? Ma pay for the tilapia first, later in the evening if we come carry that croaker.
nothing else but chickpeas. That's the end why. You gotta soak them overnight, and then you gotta cook it. It's gonna take a while to cook it. But once you have the chickpeas cooked, and you have what you got some tahini, you got the lemon, your business. So how easy is that? Chickpeas are cooked with black salt. You wanna make sure they're cooked good enough. That's what I'm cooking. Put it in a little, I make a small amount of today. Some of it's done. Chickpeas are very good for people diabetes. It's a natural. Never had tahini before. It's just a beautiful flavor. Now, some people overdo it with the tahini. Some people don't. Depends where you come from. Tahini is made from sesame seeds and it's also very good. Oil now. Superfood. Mix it up a little more here. Blend it. Take it over the gas is away. Like the one side away a little bit. So what we're gonna do now. Lay that. My hummus in here. Hummus is a perfect name. Matter of fact, I have an assistant that lives there. One piece of advice. Be careful where you buy your hummus from. Not so much the grocery store hummus, but if you buy it like some food stalls, stuff like that. A lot of the people have a tendency to buy, like potato whiteners or mustard, and this not really good. Be dead. If you have any kind of sensitive stomach, you will eat wrong. If you make it at home, you know what's in it, and also, like I'm saying to you, I mean, don't even go buy it. Look how easy it is. It won't cost you either. Just stick it in there. Put your chives. And serve it with peanut bread or some corn chips or with a vegetable, whatever makes you happy. Like I said, there's no right, there's no wrong. It's one of those things you should play around with. I don't think you should be scared of making a hummus for the first time for your family. Once you try it once, you try to do it, and then after there's a million variations of hummus. With pepper and onion, the chickpeas is just the base. Whatever you do to it, afterwards goes another problem. So here we got minestrone, which is easy to make, in a dish that you have. Also, it's a very good recycler. You have to be left in the refrigerator from your last 30 days, put it in there. The reason I like legumes, such as lentils and other things, they're easy to come by. They're relatively inexpensive. They don't have to go anywhere much to look for. Everything in here you can find in your neighborhood convenience store for the matter. So it's very simple. Mustard, a little tofu, a little bit of ready to eat. And the hummus, we just talked about, is so easy to make. And I think you can experiment with different varieties of hummus. And what I find really great about this dish is it can be done anytime. It doesn't take a lot of cooking time. It takes a little bit of time. But the chickpeas, you gotta soak them the night before, you gotta cook them. The lentils, you gotta soak them. But the cooking time of the French lentils is maybe 8 to 10 minutes. It doesn't take more time than that. And when people ask me about baking soda, never tell me that. Don't put no baking soda and cook your beans just like no water. And here, on Superfood, we don't use salt, we use butter, just regular water. Let me get a taste of my creation here.
Into the car, you can see. Comes from there, goes to
Flavor, second to none, let me get a taste of my so light, so healthy, and obviously my hummus that I love.
that is magic. Clean that up.
Today is a little bit chocolate. Chocolate, you might ask. Chocolate? Yes, chocolate. And I brought along my pastry chef from the city town, Diana, to help me because she's going to have to temper me some chocolate for my first recipe that I make. And then Diana is going to do us some interesting chocolate-inspired recipes.
Right.
So Diana, the first thing I'm going to do right now, you're going to obviously help me a little bit since you're here, but I'm going to do a dish that I first made in North Africa, Morocco. And it's amazing when you think about it, how some of the cultures have used chocolate a long time. Now everybody knows about the upsticks and the mole and the different things. And when I worked in Brazil, a lot of chocolate was incorporated into it. And you know, chocolate was used to rule the world, you know. And people in the 18th century were so enamored with the lots of these drinks and these desserts, but chocolate like gold. And people would buy chocolate from the most important parts of the world. What I've done is for this recipe, and I know you asked me before, said lamb and chocolate, how does it work?
Yeah, give me the story behind that.
It's really interesting because if you look at the ingredients on of this, come over here and look, you can see how it all ties together. I have golden raisins, I have cranberry and pomegranate, and I have blueberries, dried.
Okay, so I can take that.
And the most important thing is, they're all superfoods.
That's very true.
Now, again, like in all of these shows, you don't see any salt, you don't see any salt, you don't see any
My boss. Okay, no problem. All right, boss. All right. Thank you. I should bring you the same place where we delivered the last one. All right. All right, boss. All right. All right, boss. Thank you.
Now, you know, Diana, the chocolate is full of antioxidants, you know. I mean, this is not.
The darker the better as well.
Basically, the lead line, you don't never even have to put it in the oven. You can just slowly pan sear because you want to keep this very medium rare to begin with. The other thing I'm doing right now, you see my asparagus, but this
How much is market list? So you go back to the office, let them start preparing one of that big tilapia, and then by 4 o'clock, they should package the other two this boy grill and put in that takeaway packs. Yeah. Tell Joseph not to start that order now. That he shouldn't start that order now. The person say in the evening.
That's right, that's right.
And chestnut for Valentine's Day. All right, let me do the rest of the thing here. So what I have the commercials that I cut into this unbelievable lamb mushroom in here. I have cucumber, cucumber, which is what I cut it. Cucumber, I'm going to cut it into shrimp. Cucumber, when people like the cucumber, it's full of water, so it fills you up and doesn't give you any calories. And it's really nice. A crisp cucumber, it's just beautiful eating, you know.
Absolutely right.
I like it when I make a wrap or something like that, put some cucumbers into it. But I don't like the regular cucumbers that are full of seeds. I like the ones like the European.
Yeah, nice European ones. They're beautiful.
Yeah, you don't want to overcook, you want to blanch it, but my trick is what I tell you, blanch it and then steam dry it, not put it in water again. That's one thing I can't stand when people do it. I don't, people do it sometimes.
Hello.
It just kills it. Because the reason
Brightgrillzz, sir. Brightgrillzz. Wuse 2, Madiana Close, number 5. Wuse 2, Madiana Close, number 5. Number 5. Madiana close. Madiana. Yes, sir. Thank you, my boss. What do you want so that I'll place your order, sir? Please. Yes, sir.
That's right. Well, we're going to see this one first. It's on the boiler. That's
All right, sir.
an inch or two of water.
Are you coming right away? Because I want to step out before coming back.
Turn it off and get a glass heat-proof bowl, and there's the double boiler. It's as simple as that. Just the warm water underneath so that it's an indirect heating method. Very simple. And
Yeah, so what do I do for this one? It has some extra protein by eggs. Eggs are actually very common, blood even. So if you would be very concerned about getting too much cholesterol, you should take yogurt and just stay in the way.
that's right.
It's really not no problem. Now look at this. That's important.
That's beautiful. Just gonna fill
So
in this bag real quick.
inside to
Triangular piece of parchment paper.
of for
You
this
can
kind of
get it from any
things.
grocery store nowadays.
Should
Usually
mush.
comes on a roll, but cut it into a square, and then you can cut one even triangle. And it's just as simple. Fold it
If you
in
add some
in,
small chops to it, so like you don't have small chops, so like side to
the hole, and if you pull the 2
of
points up to the
for this
center,
kind of things.
it will make the hole
Should
smaller.
mush.
So it's just a perfect little point. All I have to do is fold and crease the edge. Voila. So easy. And then your handy scissors here will snip the ends.
And this is why warm up.
That's right. That's
Because
right.
I cannot do this. I admit it. I can't do it as good. This is the basic ingredients of the salad. So now I'm going to put in a very good vinegar. Let's set the oregano.
dark stuff has all the nutrients and all the flavonoids from the cocoa beans that really keep it healthy and have all those cancer repelling.
Joe.
Let me tell you, one of the things that builds up cooking is like
Yeah, Piro.
rice called the spice of Charles. Or look at the spice of butter.
Polo, give Joseph phone.
There's no cocoa at all.
Correct. No health benefits, it's just beautiful looking.
That's right. And we just have a little bit here melted. It's probably
Joe, you don't start that order.
You know, cocoa.
But the fish, now the fish goes to that.
Yeah, okay, leave that fish now in the night we go down. The man will go deliver them in the night.
Okay.
You go H-Medics, go find all those samosa and spring onions. The one way they don't already arrange them. I says spring roll. You know, so they sabi mix that thing, keep and raw, now to just buy and come fry them. Spring roll and samosa then. I don't know small chops. Spring roll and samosa then.
And say if I go there, I ask them.
Yeah, go ask them. They say raw one, now we go come fry them. Then call me this boy now, this boy for prawns.
I don't call a number, I let him know I live at the
God, God. Find a name for TikTok. Now Alexander. And then you go buy sweet corn too.
Get started here.
You go dress when I mean and you go deliver that platter on a special people.
For it in any nut you could ever
Now this one is not even in that.
Now evening.
very simple.
And then that two tilapia anybody be doing, they grill and fine. Okay, you go arrange them well. Put them for inside platter. Put all the two for platter. Spice them well. Make them they juicy. There you go. You go cook special Cameroon pepper. When the pepper done, you add water, make dry again. Dry. Then you put small maggi, taste away the sweet nice. You now add small oil inside. Yeah? Then we will package them for takeaway packs. Put them inside of this thing for go give them. Plenty chips and plantain. You go put some sweet corn for that tilapia too. Boil that one with the fridge while you go buy these people their own. Thank you. Now send me market list.
Some of my other favorite combinations are blueberry and almond, ginger and cranberry for, holiday time. But everything's great when you mix it with chocolate. You really can't go wrong. Okay, that's right. And here I just have a plate lined with, again, some more parchment paper so that it doesn't stick. And just get little spoonfuls here. Push them out. Just make sure that they stay together, and they should, with the chocolate. And you can, of course, do these in any size or. That's right. Indeed, with the cashews and everything. And we're just gonna pop these in the fridge so they set up nice and quick. Oh, yeah. That's right. I'm just gonna throw these in the fridge so they set up nice.
Report an incident regarding a minor passenger. I'll need to confirm their travel document.
Yeah, I mean, talk about simple. You can't go wrong. Everyone loves a topic. Okay.
And chocolate can be dipped in any kind of food. Strawberries is so best.
Oh yeah. And who doesn't love that? And just make sure your strawberries are nice and washed and rubbed dry. You don't want them wet, otherwise the chocolate stain on skin. So the stem berries are perfect. You can just grab it right by the stem. Pull the leaves back just a little bit.
You can actually put it with chocolate and then also pour it with nuts. So you have nuts
Oh yeah.
as well.
And just let it drizzle down a little bit so
This
just
is so, I mean, this is so easy for somebody to make at home and say, okay, I made it myself. I didn't go to a
That's
store
right.
getting it.
You just have to go
It's
buy
also
it.
part of the idea for our audience to really how to make these things at home and really show off. You
That's
know?
right. So the trick here, the only trick to dipping strawberries, is you put it down and you slide it forward just a little bit. So that way when you pick it up, you won't have a melting pool of chocolate, which is great. But a little bit of chocolate is good. You don't want that.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, strawberries is another thing that you can control your intake, except, you know, like five. No, on a serious note, so many of the foods that we have, if you overindulge, all the message I'm trying to give you is not important.
That's right.
And my message is to you, hard, healthy food, and really tiny little food. But if you overindulge, I have no control over you.
That is true. Everything in moderation. Including moderation. And again, these you can set in the fridge as well, and they'll set up very quickly. Because it is really important to make sure that you're not mixing any water near your chocolate because it will separate and become hard. Set. They really just don't get along, so it's important as you're melting your chocolate in the double boiler to make sure that there's, you know, enough of a lid, or that you're constantly checking it to, you know, there's condensation on the bottom, of course. So to make sure that that doesn't end up in your bowl of chocolate because it will seize the whole thing and become not very workable.
But so far, there's really no big science to it. It's easy by
That's
chocolate,
right.
by berries,
Yeah.
or you can clean, maybe a double boiler, get ready.
Absolutely.
No big
That's
secret.
right. And you could also, you know, if you're afraid of the double boiler, you could go with the microwave. Just make sure you're doing it in very short bursts. You know, 10 seconds, give it a stir, 10 seconds, just until it's melted. And you can even pull it out.
But the important message is don't let anything into it. Chocolate. If you put anything else into it, you have trouble. So then what I'm doing over here, I'm loading up my my salads with my 3 bowls. Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, that's beautiful. I love the radicchio, the pop of color there. And
You know, this is a dynamite recipe for the spring when everything soon when everything gets ready in the spring, you put it all together and it's make it beautiful. So now you can also get another chocolate bag from me. And now I'm gonna get my lamb out. The lamb loin.
okay, one chocolate bag. Oh, that looks perfect. It smells nice.
And it's just, you saw me, never in the oven, it's just pencil,
Yep.
slowly.
Give you the perfect amount of time to do it.
And what you use for that is, if you go to the butcher, just tell them to take a rocket flag and just debone it, that's all it is, it's the loin, and it's off the rock. Easy like that.
Hear the crust on it when you're cutting it.
Well,
That's
this is really good, yeah, wonderful picture, because it's still saying crust, but remember, the one thing that I've been telling the audience for quite some time, when you don't cook with a lot of salt, fat, you're gonna come up with other flavors. And the other flavor is the caramelization of the meat. It's not gonna happen unless you start with a product.
Of
Cannot
course.
just buy any. So and the lamb, this happens to be Colorado lamb, which is just the best. I mean, lean and it could be cooked better. Try that. Oh. And you would believe there's no salt in there.
I wouldn't. Not
Just a peppermint. All right, you got the chocolate ready for me?
a little bit.
Now remember, the one that got sugar fruits already in the salad as well.
Right.
So now you want to make the bowl for my tasty scorches.
Sit.
Rita, ven 5 minutes.
Is the one that you remove it like that?